Welcome to day 56 of Reset, Restart, Refocus. So tomorrow is my meal prep live stream, and I was planning my menu and I went grocery shopping and just kind of figuring out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to make it. And one thing that I'm going to make tomorrow are some beef kebabs. And I have some, I had some chuck-eye steaks in the freezer, which is kind of a tough, inexpensive beef to cook with. So I decided to make a marinade with it. So I'm going to show you how I do that marinade today, because I've got to get it ready today for tomorrow so it can marinate overnight. So that's what we're going to do today. But first of all, let's find out what my weight was this morning. Okay, so this morning I was 167.4. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I was way happy about that. That means I was down another 1.4 pounds. And yesterday I ate 2 meals, and I was kind of expecting my weight to go up a little bit, but it didn't. And I'm really happy about that, because I really do want to start incorporating more food. I just feel like I'm not getting enough calories, and my macros are off with just the 1 meal a day. And especially with the 2 meals that I prepared this last week, there weren't enough vegetables, first of all. And I think the vegetables is what really sustains me and keeps me full all day, that day into the next day. And yesterday morning, where I was so hungry, it just kind of told me that I've been increasing a little bit every day this week, noticing that I'm a little bit hungrier. So anyway, I'm happy that it didn't affect my weight, and I really want to try to get my calories up a bit, because even though I'm not tracking, I know for sure that I'm not getting enough. Especially this last week, I'm not getting enough. So I'm working on that with the menu that I have this coming week. Wait till you see it. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so since I'm not doing OMAD, I did have 2 meals today. So here's what I had for my first and second meals. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have 2 meals today. It's 9 o'clock and I'm going to have my first meal of the day. So I'm not having any vegetables or anything like that. I just warmed up 2 of these chicken thighs with the mustard sauce, and that's how I'm going to start my day. Okay, so it's just about 1 o'clock, and I'm going to have my second meal of the day, and that'll close up my 4-hour eating window. So I just have this pizza casserole left over from last week. I'm eating that and I put some extra jalapenos on top because I didn't put enough in when I made it. So anyway, this is delicious, and I'm going to eat it. Okay, so this morning I had 2 of those chicken thighs. I need to eat up some of the things that are in my refrigerator from my meal prep. And I do have some more chicken thighs in there. I might end up freezing them. And so I just ate the 2 chicken thighs, carnivore-ish style. You know, it's not carnivore because it had the sauce on it, but I just didn't have any vegetables with it, knowing that the 2 thighs were going to be a lot of calories, a lot of fat, and it was really going to fill me up. And it really did. And then for my second meal, I had the pizza casserole. I had 1 little piece left, and so I decided to eat that up right away before it goes bad in the refrigerator. So that's what I ate, and it was delicious. Oh my goodness, of course, you know, I love everything that I cook. All right, so anyway, we're done with today. Let's talk about my meal prep tomorrow, my live stream at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So on the menu, we're going to have beef kebabs, and I'm going to roast some vegetables again. I bought plenty of radishes this time, and so I'm going to do it with some radishes and mushrooms, of course, because I love mushrooms. especially roasted mushrooms. Some zucchini, and some green bell pepper. So I'm going to do a mixed vegetable medley. I'm going to roast them all in the oven. I'm going to cook, even though kebabs are not typically cooked on the stovetop in a pan, it's way too cold and way too snowy outside, and my barbecue is buried. So I'm not going to be able to grill them like I would really like to. But I just thought kebabs would be kind of a nice change. And I had those steaks in the freezer that I needed to use. So we're going to have kebabs. And I'm going to marinate them today, pan fry them tomorrow, and they're going to be delicious. Okay, and then the second meal that I'm going to make tomorrow is, I don't know if you would call it pork carnitas. It's not a true carnita because carnitas are slowly braised, which I can do in my Instant Pot, and then you break them apart and you fry them in oil. Well, I'm not going to go through all those steps. I don't think it's really necessary for what I'm going to do with them. But I'm going to make a pork carnita style type of dish. And then I'm going to rice up some cauliflower. You know, riced cauliflower at my grocery store is like almost $4 a bag. And it's just not worth it to me when I can get a head of cauliflower for less than $2. So I'm going to rice up some cauliflower in my food processor, and I'm going to make some cilantro lime rice to go with the pork. So anyway, those are my two plans, my two meals that I'm going to make, my plan for tomorrow's meal prep. So if you want to watch me make that, join me tomorrow, 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, for week 9 of Keto Meal Prep. So one thing that I need to do today is I need to marinate my steak. And so I thought I would put it on my video today and show you how I make it. It's going to be delicious. So this marinade is not going to be oil and acid based like a lot of marinades are. We're going to use yogurt. And this is the yogurt that I got at my grocery store. I wanted Fage, but the only Fage that they had at my grocery store was fat-free. And I don't use fat-free anything. And so it's just everything I believe in. I mean, I lived my life fat-free for a long time and never lost any weight. And I'm sure as heck not going to do it right now because the fat is working for me. So anyway, this is the, they had 2 brands, Mountain High and Greek Gods, that were full-fat plain yogurts at my grocery store. And so I compared the labels, and this one for the ingredients was more pure. And so anyway, that's what I chose. So this is what it is, if you've never used it. 1 cup, which I'm going to use 1 cup in the entire recipe, is 220 calories, 14 grams of fat, 15 carbs, 9 protein. And then the ingredients is just cultured pasteurized grade A milk, cream, and pectin. That's it. And the Mountain High yogurt had 3 or 4 more additives in it. So that's why I chose this one. So here it is. That's what I've chosen. All right. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about why I'm using yogurt as a marinade as opposed to lemons, limes, or vinegar. So I've been doing some research on it, and I have a few notes here, and so I just want to share with you some of the things that I've learned today about marinades. So acids in marinade, like citrus, vinegar, wine, they all add flavor to your marinade, but they can toughen your meat. And that's been my experience. I've had a lot of trouble finding a marinade that will tenderize inexpensive cut of meat. Yeah, if I have a ribeye or a New York or a filet mignon or something like that, they're already tender. And so all you're really doing is adding in flavor with the marinade. They're really not for inexpensive cuts of meat like what I have here. And also when you add foods like pineapple, figs, papaya, ginger, kiwi, honeydew melon. I mean, I've seen people add all sorts of fruits to their marinades, that can help you tenderize your meat, but it can also make your meat very mushy. So here's the scoop on yogurt. Turn the page. I'm not going to pretend like I know all this stuff when I don't. I mean, I do my research. That's what you should do, is do your research. I write things down. I learn why, what is the reason why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and I try to learn from it. But my old brain just doesn't remember all this stuff anymore like it did when I was in school. So anyway, let's get back on with why I'm using yogurt. So yogurt is mildly acidic. It doesn't toughen the meat like citrus and vinegars do, because the calcium in yogurt, and some people even use buttermilk. You've seen people soak chicken in buttermilk before they fry it. So buttermilk is another good one besides yogurt. But I opted for yogurt because I feel like it's a more keto-friendly dairy product. It activates enzymes in the meat that breaks down the proteins, similar to the way that the aging process does. So anyway, that's why we're using yogurt today. And so I made a little yogurt marinade, and we're going to try it out with our meat. So here we go. All right, so I have 3 pounds of chuck eye steak. I got this on the yellow sticker marked down. These were just 2 steaks. They were very, very big steaks. And so I just cut them into 1-inch cubes because I'm going to put them on skewers. All right, so since I have so much meat, I'm going to put some half and half in these bags. And we're just going to mix them up right in the bag. Why mess up dishes when we don't have to, right? So let's fold down the edges of our bags because that helps us stand up a little bit better. All right? Okay. So now, let me go down to the recipe that I wrote. I wrote down, oh, here it is. I wrote down a recipe today. All right. Here we go. So we're going to put 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt into each bag. And while I do this, I just wanted to talk about the meal prep. You know, when I started my thinking about doing the meal prep live stream, I wanted to do it in an hour or less. I wanted to do the meal prep, everything meal prepped in an hour or less, all boxed up and ready to go. But as you can tell, that hasn't really worked out for me. I mean, the first week it did because I didn't do very much cooking. But if I want to make delicious food that I'm going to love to eat all week long, then I need to spend a little time making it. And if that means an hour and a half or 2 hours of meal prep, then really that's still saving so much time off of your week than pulling out all the ingredients and cooking every single day and having all the dirty dishes to do and all that stuff. So I just really think, I still believe that even if a meal prep took you 2 hours, it's still worth it. The time spent is what I'm talking about. So anyway, I haven't really done anything like this marinade since I've been doing the meal prep videos, because obviously this is going to take some pre-planning, and you're going to have to do this the night before like I am. But trust me, this is going to be worth it. Okay, so there we go. Now I have some olive oil, and we're going to put 1/3 cup of olive oil in each bag. Oh, let's take the cap off, shall we? All right, there we go. This is a new bottle. 1/3 of a cup. I don't usually use olive oil in cooking. I prefer it in salad dressing and for cold applications, but I just feel like the flavor of the olive oil is going to give this a really, really good flavor. That's why I'm not using avocado oil, which is what I usually use. All right, now we're going to use a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. I'm trying something different out with my camera, so I'm hoping that this angle is working. I'll find out when I edit tonight. And if it doesn't work, then we'll do something else next time, won't we? Yes, we will. But I'm hoping this works out. I'm using a tabletop tripod. All right, that was a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. All right, now we're going to use about a tablespoon of garlic, and I just have this chopped garlic. Charped, that's what I almost said. I used to edit out all the mispronunciations and everything. I don't do that anymore. I mean, I am who I am. Everybody does it, I'm sure. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. No, I'm going to do 1 teaspoon. I'm not going to go hog wild on the salt. I'm going to do about a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. Oh, I forgot to show you. Paprika. I have some people that watch my channel and English is not their first language. So that's why I like to show what I'm using. Kind of give it a better explanation. And then we're going to do about 2 teaspoons of red pepper flakes, because I like it spicy. If you don't like it spicy, if you don't like red pepper flakes, don't add it. Add just black pepper if you want. Woo! Woo! There we go, everybody. Woo! Here. Okay, I like it, but I don't like it to like singe off my tongue completely. All right, there we go. That's everything. So now all we're gonna do is mix it all together in the bag until it's thoroughly mixed. And since this is something new to me, and I just made this recipe today, I don't know if I'm making too much marinade. I know it's going to be enough. I just don't know if I'm making too much. So we'll find out if it is or not. I don't think it's going to be. I have a lot of meat there to marinate. I think it's going to be fine. Getting it all mixed up. All right, there we go. It was that easy. So now, just gonna put a glove on my hand. Put this where you can see it good. And I'm just going to put the meat in the marinade. After I cut it up into cubes, I just put it in this cookie sheet so I could keep it separated kind of in half. I don't know why I did that. I just did. And I don't know why I told you that, but I just did. All right. This smells really good. Really, really good. So obviously you're not going to get all the carbs from the yogurt, because you know that when you use a marinade, most of the marinade stays in the bag or in the bowl, whatever you're using. All right, so there we go. All I have to do is mix it up. Make sure my meat is evenly covered. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then one other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to release the air just a little bit out of my bag. Squeeze it out as much as I can. And then it's going in this aluminum pan. Just like that. Let's do the other one. Okay, let's make sure all of that meat gets coated in that delicious marinade. And you know, you can do this so many different ways. This is just what I felt like doing today. I'm anxious to see how this cooks up tomorrow in a skillet. I'm going to use my cast iron skillet to cook it. Okay, so let's squeeze all the air out as much as we can. And there it goes. All right, there we go. So just one more thing. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator overnight, and tomorrow we'll have it to cook during our live stream. So one thing that I noticed right now, and I'm hoping that it'll be true tomorrow, is that the marinade seems to be, it's not as runny, it's thicker, so it's going to stick to the meat better. And I think that's going to give the meat a much, much better flavor tomorrow. But we'll find out, okay? All right. So anyway, that's all that I have for you today. Join me for my live stream, Keto Meal Prep, at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So until tomorrow, keep calm and keto on.